are you having for lunch? What's going on, guys? How are you? Y'all had a lot to say about the call last night. We got to talk about some things going on. Oh, we have a new member. Hi, new member. Hi, Ann Moore. What's going on? And more, and more, and more, and more. Ann Moore. I love that. Ann Moore, welcome. Okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for supporting the shenanigans. Thank you. Thank you, Ann. Thank you, Boo Boo. Good morning. Guys, I was having like a little bit of technical difficulty. You could tell if you were in my last live, you could hear I was having situation with the microphones. Now, Lord Lambo has his Lord of the Rings jacket on, and baby, you can't tell him nothing. Lambo thinks it's 1655 and Portia is one of his women's. Okay. And Portia is like, if you don't get away from me. April, Justin's mom, and Salito. What's going on? Oh my God, they're bickering. Come here. Get out of here. You out. You, Portia? Portia. Okay. Portia, you coming or not? Oh, Jesus. These two. Off of me said, hi, Lambo. Lambo Bougie Gang says, what's up? Okay, good morning, Fran, and all the Bougie Gang. Happy Thursday. I'm having a taco salad. Okay, Cajun shrimp and boiled eggs. What's going on here? Okay, guys, I'm trying to, you got to bear with me because I think I closed out my windows on the lady. Is it Kelly Bryant? The lady, I have it on my Facebook. I'm going to go find it on my Facebook. It's all on Facebook. If you're not following me on Facebook, you're missing some things, okay? Because I do post things over there that are quite helpful. Where is ma'am? It won't take me too long to backtrack, but the lady from Pontiac, Michigan. Yes, the lady from Pontiac, Michigan, the lady who left her kids. Oh, Jesus, she's horrible. She's despicable. Let's get into another situation first. We have three stories I would really like to cover. And we'll get to Miss Ma'am last. Miss Kelly Marie Bryant. We'll get to her. Okay. Kelly Marie, we got a special place for you, boo. Okay. And then the last one, y'all, the lady who left her kids, who was homeless in the car and went into the casino. She left the kids in the car with her mother, went into the casino, and two of the kids suffered from hypothermia. Baby, her GoFundMe has over $50,000. I think yesterday when I checked it was like $51,000. And sis is out partying. Okay. And the kids haven't had the funeral yet. Okay. A mess. It's just been a mess. Look, it's snowing in North Carolina today and they did not cancel school. That's how bad. I'm going to just gauge that on. That's how bad the winter is. That we actually are getting day snow. And girl, they didn't even cancel school. And we live in the South. Okay. I live in the South. I don't live deep South, but it's the South nonetheless. Okay. And we don't really get snow here. Okay. We've had a very cold, brutal winter. And the places that are cold anyway, I cannot imagine how cold it is for y'all. I know it's cold. So ma'am was homeless too. She was homeless. Yes, she was staying in her car and I think the car ran out of gas, right? The car ran out of gas and the heat went off, but I'm sure if the baby had frostbite on their feet, that frostbite probably had been setting in. I'm just going to say cuz frostbite, I guess can happen. but I feel like frostbite is something that happens over time. The baby probably had been cold. The baby had been getting exposed. And that night was just the night that the baby couldn't hang on any longer. We're about to warm up here in Los Angeles, but doesn't mean we'll stay that way. Girl, it's been a hell of a winter. It's been low key cold. Um but nothing compared to what you guys. That's why I don't even really complain about the cold, cuz I know I we have mild winters here. So but today we are on some 22 degrees, and I think that's legit. Like, it's cold. Yeah, if it's 27 degrees in Louisiana, it's like, come on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a damn cold chill across the country. Um they might even be wearing sweaters in Hawaii right now. I mean, the way this winter's going, everybody's cold. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's get to this first. This was also in People magazine, but we're going to hit the Jacksonville news first. Hold on a second. Let's get over here. Y'all, I've been following up. Do you guys remember the lady and her man who got pizza? They were at the hotel for her birthday. They ordered pizza and they didn't tip the girl to their satisfaction. And the girl came back with her man and a gun, and and he was on the loose for a while. They finally caught him. I was looking all that up last night. I was like, "Oh my god." Um it's a scary place out here. The world is very scary right now, okay? Uh hold on. Okay. It's a scary place out here. Okay. Y'all, this is Latoria Collins. Latoria Collins was very much pissed. And let the news channel tell you why. Okay. Hold on. Let's get into it.
100 years old. This weekend, some of his family and friends had a surprise birthday lunch for him in Orange.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Baby. Hold up. It went past my story. Hold on. Girl, while I was waiting. Okay, here we go. I have to reload it. It's like, hello. I hope everyone's having a great day. So I don't know what's going on. This is not the right thing. Okay. Let me find it. We'll just read. We're gonna just and let's read. Okay. And let's read. Okay. Let me make sure this is off. Okay. You guys are gonna be like, what? Okay. This is Latoria Collins. This is the article. A man broke up with his girlfriend. Days later, police say she tracked him and shot his female passenger in the head. Okay. Awful, right? A Jacksonville woman was arrested and accused of shooting another woman in the head following an altercation Saturday night at an intersection in the Murray Hill area, according to the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. Police arrested Latoria Collins, 38, who was charged with attempted murder in connection with the shooting at the intersection of McDuff Avenue and Post Street. JSO interviewed Collins' ex-boyfriend, and he described what led up to the shooting in an arrest report obtained by News 4 Jax on Tuesday. According to her arrest report, the ex-boyfriend told officers he had recently ended the relationship with Collins, and on that day of the shooting, she had been calling and texting him to come get his shit. I'm paraphrasing. But according to him, he told Collins she could discard the items. You know it's bad when they say, I don't even want it. You can have it, throw it away, whatever. I'm not coming. And that he didn't want them anymore. According to the arrest report, the man told the officers that he had planned the night out with a woman with whom he had previously been in a relationship and some of her relatives and friends. The woman's relatives and friends were driving in a separate car, a black Mitsubishi. He told officers that as he was driving to a restaurant on King Street, he received multiple phone calls from Collins that he did not answer. According to the arrest report, the ex-boyfriend then described stopping at a stoplight at an intersection at Edgewood Avenue and Post Street. And as he was waiting for the light to turn green, he saw Collins' car drive up around the passenger side of his car and abruptly stop in front of him, preventing him from driving, like on some La Femme Nikita or something. Then he reversed the car and swerved around Collins' car and noticed she continued to follow him along Post Street, according to the police. As he approached the intersection of McDuff Avenue, he slowed and pulled close behind the black Mitsubishi, which was stopped at a traffic signal. According to the arrest report, he described how Collins approached him and aggressively knocked on the window, sparking an argument between the two, and he asked her to leave him alone. The argument did not end there. Police said Collins then began to argue with the female passenger after she asked who Collins was. At the same time, the occupants of the black Mitsubishi got out the car because they heard loud yelling. The man told police he felt there was about to be a physical altercation between Collins and the other people, and he tried to intervene. And as he placed himself between Collins and the other people to de-escalate the situation, he heard a gunshot and saw a female passenger fall to the ground. Police said the woman, who was not identified, was shot in the head. According to the arrest report, the occupant of Collins' vehicle also spoke to police, and her version of the events aligned with the ex-boyfriend's statement. Police said they discovered a 380 caliber shell casing near where the victim was found. JSO interviewed all of the people at the scene, including Collins, and later arrested her. Y'all, very sad. Now, I'm not sure if the woman passed away or not. We're going to find out. Let's see if there's something on here. Let's see I don't know what her charges are. Let's see what her charges are. Murder. Okay. Yes, second-degree murder. Okay. And second degree is dangerous act, depraved mind. That's like Sarah Boone. So it's still a life sentence. It's a life sentence, but it's more of like a heat of the moment. Even though it does say, without premeditation. So she set out, it's on some snapped. It doesn't necessarily mean that's a defense. It's still a level 1 felony. So it's still a punishable by life in prison. And that's exactly what Sarah Boone had. But let's see. Let's see. So this is the day after Valentine's Day. On 2/15, approximately at 22:04, officers were dispatched to an intersection of McDuff and Post Street in reference to a person. So if you're wondering who I'm talking about, it's this person right here. Girl. Let's see what it says on the police report. Okay, so they were dispatched to the intersection of McDuff Avenue and Post Street in reference to a person. This is in Jacksonville, Florida. This just happened this weekend. Upon arrival, officers located several witnesses and a person suffering from at least one gunshot wound to their head in the road, Post Street. The unresponsive victim was transported to Jacksonville Fire and Rescue Department by Jacksonville Fire and Rescue to the hospital for treatment and injuries. The suspect was contacted by officers and was in possession of a .38 caliber handgun located concealed in her rear waistline. Okay. Well, did she put the gun back in her holster? It was located concealed in her rear waistline. It should be noted a single 38 caliber shell casing was recovered near where the victim was found. So she was wearing her gun. I hope she's not going to start with some hold your ground. Due to the victim's life-threatening condition, detectives were summoned to the scene for further investigation. Your affiant conducted an interview with Robert Davis, who was an acquaintance of the victim and a love interest of the suspect, Latorray Collins. That's Latorray Collins in front of you. Okay. Robert told your affiant that in the afternoon of 2:15:25, the suspect was calling and texting him to come get his belongings that she had, clothing, shoes, assorted items. Robert advised he told the suspect that she could discard the items and that he no longer wanted them. Robert then described planning a night out with the victim and some of her relatives and friends. I mean, the fact that he's taking this woman out, even though it's what, Saturday after Valentine's Day, he's taking out the girl and her family. That's interesting. And maybe he broke up with her to be with her. I don't, I'm gonna assume that clearly he broke up with the other girl, right? And he was taking out someone else, which was on Saturday. Miss Latoria, the lady who's on the screen, was told, yeah, that's okay. I don't want the stuff. So discard it. Okay. Robert advised he told the suspect that she could come and get his belongings. And do you want me to share this screen instead? You guys see what Latoria looks like. Okay. Robert then described planning a night out with the victim and some of her relatives and friends. Robert advised that he drove the victim in her white Honda Accord to the Paxson Liquor and Lounge on Edgewood Avenue in Jacksonville, where they met with her family and friends who were occupying another vehicle, a black Outlander, Mitsubishi Outlander. After being in the parking lot at Paxton Liquors for a period of time, Robert described being asked to drive to an establishment located on King Street, later determined to be Debo's Daiquiris, Wings, and Seafood. After Robert drove out of the Paxton Liquors parking lot, following the black Mitsubishi, he drove south on Edgewood Avenue. Robert advised while driving, he received multiple phone calls from the suspect to which he said he did not answer. Robert then described stop. I wonder if she had a GPS tag on him, because how do you just find somebody in the city? Maybe we'll hear that, because there have been several stories recently about people putting air tags on people's cars. Robert then described stopping at the intersection at Edgewood Avenue and Post Street due to a red traffic signal. As he was waiting for the light to turn green, Robert advised he observed the suspect's vehicle, which was being driven by the suspect, drive around the passenger side of the vehicle, and he was driving and abruptly turn in front of him, which blocked his ability to drive forward. Robert advised he had to reverse the vehicle he was driving to swerve around the suspect's vehicle. Robert told your affiant that after he began proceeding east along Post Street, he noticed the suspect's vehicle following him. Robert stated he approached the intersection to McDuff Avenue. He slowed and pulled close to the black Mitsubishi, which was stopped at the traffic signal. Robert then described the suspect approaching the driver's side of the vehicle he was in and aggressively knocking on the window. Robert advised he began arguing with the suspect who was telling to leave him alone. Robert said the suspect began a verbal exchange with the victim also after the victim inquired about who she was. Robert stated the occupants of the black Mitsubishi exited the vehicle to determine the cause of the loud yelling. At this time, Robert advised he felt there would be a physical altercation between the suspect and the others present. He decided to try to intervene. Robert stated that he had placed himself in between the suspect and other persons to keep the physical altercation from escalating. He was surprised by the loud noise, which was described as a single gunshot. Robert then described seeing the victim fall to the ground and the suspect backing away with the handgun in her right hand. Robert advised he did not initially see the suspect produce the firearm prior to the discharge. Robert advised he began assessing the victim as others present called 911 and request assistance. Robert advised that he observed the suspect walk to the rear of her vehicle to make a phone call. Robert told your affiant he was a close acquaintance to the victims and was at one time in intimate relationship with her. With the assistance of other detectives, your affiant interviewed all of the other persons present who provided accounts which mirrored that of Robert's account. Denise Yeomans, a close acquaintance of the suspect, was also an occupant of the suspect's vehicle. Denise was interviewed also in her version of events aligned with Robert's statement. Your affiant interviewed the suspect post Miranda via constitutional rights form. The suspect provided her relationship history with Robert, indicating that they had been intimate since November of 2024. Girl, November 2024, and you are tripping? It's February. It's only been 3 months. Indicating they had been intimate since what? The suspect detailed her communications via voice calls and text messages throughout the day of 2/15. The suspect confirmed that she asked the suspect to get his belongings, which he refused and told her to discard them. The suspect was then asked about her presence at the Packs and Liquors parking lot, which she confirmed she was. The suspect was then detailed observing Robert driving the victim's vehicle with the victim in the passenger seat at Packs and Liquors. The suspect told your affiant that she attempted to call Robert 2 separate times as he was driving out of the parking lot and south on Edgewood Avenue. The suspect then describes following the victim's vehicle until he stopped at a red traffic sign intersection. The suspect confirms she blocked the victim's vehicle. So she's admitting to everything. The suspect confirms that she blocked the victim's vehicle with her vehicle and attempted to engage. There'll be more charges. The suspect confirms she blocked the victim's vehicle with her vehicle and attempted to engage Robert in conversation at this moment, but he ultimately maneuvered around her and she followed him on Post Street. The suspect then describes pulling behind the victim's vehicle and exiting her vehicle to ask Robert to provide her with marijuana by Wait. The suspect then describes pulling behind the victim's vehicle and exiting her vehicle to ask Robert to provide her with marijuana by banging on his window. The suspect then describes getting into an altercation with the victim and the driver of the black Mitsubishi Outlander. The suspect advised she was uncertain of when Denise exited her vehicle, but described that she and Denise were standing near the victim's vehicle when individuals began encroaching on them. The suspect described the driver of the Outlander throwing an alcohol beverage at her, and Denise, a cup was collected at the scene. The suspect, obviously they redacted it. The suspect said she observed the victim fall to the pavement. The suspect informed your affiant the victim because blank the suspect and used her phone to call 911 to report the matter. The suspect was asked when she initially placed the firearm into her waistline, to which she could not recall. The suspect was asked whether she received any injuries from the altercation, to which she did not. The suspect was inspected by officers for visible signs of injuries. Okay. Video surveillance from nearby scene of the shooting was reviewed, which corroborated the accounts. She just flat out killed that girl because she was mad. And it seems, I mean, she might have been, maybe she, I don't know if she was just following him. They say, ooh, this is terrible. So he just broke up with ma'am. This is ma'am right here, y'all. She was banging on his car asking for marijuana. For what? Oh, hold on. Y'all, this is a mess. I feel sorry for the girl. It's not even safe to, if someone has literally just broken up with someone, it's probably not safe. It's not safe to go out with them because if they've got a crazy girlfriend in the bushes, this is what kind of was funny to me. Her hair color. Why'd they say her hair color was blonde or strawberry? Maybe her hair under that wig is blonde or strawberry, but this is definitely giving synthetic wig right here. But, and I'm sure they have taken her wig off by now. But even this lady, I mean, she's got, if they give her a murder charge, they gave her attempted murder initially. I'm sure they're going to give her other charges because it's attempted murder, but maybe because this is what was charged before the lady passed away. Um, this is what the jail is holding her on in Duval County. But looking at her case, I think they've upgraded her charge to murder because it was attempted murder when she was taken in. Now she's on murder. I'm sure she doesn't have a bond. She had a bond initially of $250,003, okay, which was very strange. They gave her $250,003, but now it's been upgraded to murder. I wonder if they revoked her bond or they're going to actually still let her have a bond. If you can believe it, it looks like she still has a bond. But she's still in jail though. She's currently in house. She's still in custody, as you can see right here. She's in custody. But she does have a $250,000 bond, even though she's sitting on a murder charge in Florida. I'm kind of surprised. I wonder if they're going to revoke her bond sometime this week when she goes for her arraignment. Interesting, right? Girl, they need to take her gun. Hopefully she needs to go turn in all of her weapons. I don't know if she only has one or if she has two, but all this, like, you're pissed, that is not a reason to pull out your gun because homeboy that broke up with you is on another date. Well, let's say this, the people in Jacksonville who could pay that aren't getting into these shenanigans, okay? Nesta would be mad that she got that bond. That's a murder case bond, okay? Can y'all believe this? Okay. This is bad. I feel sorry for that lady. I really do. But, I don't know. I don't know how you even know. How do you know when it's time to go out with somebody who just broke up with someone else? Because you never know who's in the bushes waiting and mad because I tell you what, um there are people who still have the vapors after like 10 and 20 years. There are people out here with the vapors so bad. They never seem to get over a breakup. They're mad because somebody moved on and you weren't ready to move on. And baby, they got the vapors. Some people will have the vapors till the day they die. Okay. Um, okay. So they will adjust the bonds accordingly so that it's either very much a stretch or it's just not reasonable for you. It's basically a bond, but no bond. Is that what you're saying? Okay. All right. I've been telling you guys about this story for a minute. I really wanted to cover this. So let's talk about this. This was awful because I know a lot of you guys are at work right now and there are people out here about to blow. Okay. You got to leave them people alone. There are people out here who are very, uh, they're having tender moments. They are nobody to fool with or mess with. So let's hear about this other situation that happened. This is some workplace violence, so trigger warning for anybody. But this is stuff that you need to be aware of, because just like at your job, if you're in a facility with more than 100 people, I'm sure you do active shooter training once a year, just kind of like what you should do, how you should protect yourself, call 911, be safe, crouch down, use items to be in your, so this is on some of that. Okay. This happened like 2 weeks ago now.
On video for his arraignment. 28-year-old Bruce Foster appearing on video for his arraignment here on a Licking County.
This is super low.
Sir, are you Bruce Foster III?
Yes, how are you today?
For the first time, we're seeing the man accused of shooting and killing 2 of his coworkers and injuring 4 more inside the KDC-1 warehouse facility in New Albany. Police say Foster had worked for several hours before opening fire. He then left the scene in a rideshare vehicle, leading officers on a 12-hour manhunt. Foster's family sitting in the courtroom as the magistrate set his bond.
Mr. Foster, I'm going to set your bond at $20 million.
According to a warrant filed in Common Pleas Court, Foster is charged with aggravated murder. No other charges have been filed yet. A grand jury will now review his case.
Sir, just so you know, today's hearing is being recorded, so anything that you say now could be used against you in the future.
But Foster was very talkative during the hearing, asking the magistrate several questions and speaking up when the state read some of the facts of the case, including that he resisted arrest.
I never resisted. Who told you guys I resisted?
Okay, don't talk about the facts of your case. This is being recorded.
During a news conference on Wednesday, the U.S. Marshal Service told us about their interaction with Foster when they arrested him at this Columbus area apartment.
Our team had to enter the apartment, locate him in the apartment. He again resisted commands, would not show his hands, would not do what he was told, would not lay down, put his hands behind his back, and a taser was deployed so that he could safely be taken into custody.
Thursday's hearing did not give us any more insight into Foster's motive for opening fire inside his workplace. It's something the New Albany Police Department says they are still investigating. Foster's next hearing is scheduled for February 13th. On your side in Licking County, I'm Kate Seifert, ABC 6 News.
One of the victims, a young father, is being remembered tonight. He was just weeks away from having his second daughter when he was gunned down during the shooting Tuesday night. Steve Levine has that side of the story tonight.
The family of 30-year-old Sekar Chapagai tells me he had worked at KDC-1 for about a year and loved his job. They tell me tragically, the night he died, he had just returned to work after being sick for 2 days.
It didn't bother anybody. It's so sad and so.
Padam Banya talking about his niece's husband, Sekar Chapagai, who was gunned down during Tuesday night's warehouse shooting inside KDC-1 in New Albany.
It's not safe for us to go anywhere nowadays.
Chapagai was a father of a little girl with a second daughter on the way.
He was so happy.
Chapagai died Wednesday night after being taken off of life support. 28-year-old Bruce Foster III now charged in connection with the workplace gunfire that left 2 dead and 4 wounded. Family tells us Chapagai and Foster worked in the same department. Relatives now trying to figure out why Foster allegedly opened fire on his own co-workers.
There was no any conflict, so he just keeps shooting randomly.
No idea why he would be targeted by this man.
It's still no idea.
Padam, no stranger to that manufacturing warehouse. He worked there for 2 years and knows the other employee who lost his life and several victims who were wounded in the gunfire.
I feel so bad about that, losing our coworker, right? Our families, our friends at a workplace.
Family members say Sekar had been planning to welcome his new daughter in just the next few weeks. Sadly, they now must prepare a funeral for this young dad, who will never get to meet his newborn child. On your side, in New Albany, Steve Levine, ABC 6 News.
He's having a mental breakdown, but he's out here really causing a disturbance. He's acting violent and everything.
And we are learning there were warning signs in the suspect's past. The family of Bruce Foster III calling 911 several times about his mental state back in 2022. At noon, investigator Lisa Ronala was first to tell you about these Columbus police runs that ended with Foster being what's called pink slipped.
And Lisa, I know you're digging even deeper. What did these mental health facilities have to say?
Ronnie, Jessica, I listened to those 911 calls on the two runs made by his sister, his mother, and Bruce Foster himself. The diagnoses of schizophrenia and split personality disorder came up. A high school grad with an associate's degree.
In a sense, he's lost his mind, and we're all scared.
The family of Bruce Foster III called Columbus police in 2022 to say they're learning he may have a mental health disorder.
He has all these conspiracy theories about death, and he thinks that we're all trying to kill him.
The April 22 police report states Foster experienced delusions and paranoia. When officers began to take him to a mental health facility, Foster started yelling, "Just kill me then, just shoot me." He also made statements that he had definitely thought about hurting other people. 1 month later,
You don't think he's taken his meds?
Nope, not at all.
Foster's sister called 911 again, this time telling dispatchers that he's been diagnosed with schizophrenia and split personality disorder.
Also, one of his diagnoses was, I don't know the actual term, but not living in reality.
Foster himself.
What's your
Is that so? Diagnosis delusion?
name?
Bruce Foster.
Called 911 too.
And you hit your cousin?
Yep, smacked the shit out of him.
Okay.
And I got it all on camera. What you want to square? You want to square up? You want to
Hey,
square up?
hey.
Foster's family wanted police to come to the same North Columbus address the SWAT team targeted right after Tuesday's deadly warehouse shooting. His mother said the chaos nearly 3 years ago was triggered when Foster refused to go back to the mental health facility.
I had the Macy. He hit my cousin. Me and my cousin is trying to get him to go to the hospital, and he hit my cousin, so I had the Macy.
In both of these calls, dispatchers asked Foster's family members if he had any weapons. I'll tell you how they responded, all new at 6. On your side, I'm investigator Lisa Rontola.
What's your name?
Bruce Foster.
Nearly 3 years before police say Bruce Foster III opened fire in a New Albany warehouse where he worked, killing 2 and injuring 4 co-workers.
And you hit your cousin?
Yep, smacked the shit out of him.
Okay.
And I got it all on camera. What you want to square up? You want to square up? You want to square up?
Hey.
He and his family called 911 several times.
You don't think he's taken his meds?
Nope, not at all.
Due to his mental health issues.
I had to smack the dog shit out of my cousin because my mom thinks she's a bully.
Twice. In April and May of 2022, police took Foster to a mental health facility against his will. That's where his sister said he was diagnosed with schizophrenia and split personality disorder.
Also, one of his diagnoses was, I don't know the actual term, but not living in reality.
Reports indicate he was experiencing delusions and paranoia and thought about hurting other people.
Does he have any weapons at all?
No.
Okay. Do you think
No,
he
but
needs
he's
an
acting real violent. He's acting really, really violent.
In both runs, family members told police Foster did not have a gun, but they did call him unpredictable. His mother stated she did not feel safe in her home.
He has all these conspiracy theories about death, and he thinks that we're all trying to kill him.
Neither of these cases in 2022 led.
I'm just going to say something real quick is he shouldn't have even been living at home. He's too old. First of all, which I know it was, I mean, I don't know, could have been a good or bad thing that he was living at home, but the man, Portia, hush. Portia, you can talk when I'm done. Portia is upset about this topic. Look, he should not, it may have been partially some babying him. I'm not really sure, but obviously the man had mental illness. It's just, he shouldn't have been at the house. He should have been in his own apartment. He had a full-time job. Maybe if he didn't have training wheels on for so long. He looks like a grown-ass man, and he's sitting up there with damn training wheels on. A man that age needs to be paying for his own room and board. He does not need to be living in your house. I'm sorry. That's just it's like a disservice. But whatever. Let's listen to the end, and then I've got the arraignment, girl. Y'all wait till y'all see this.
To criminal charges.
I had to mace him. He hit my cousin. Me and my cousin is trying to get him to go to the hospital, and he hit my cousin, so I had to mace him.
On your side, I'm investigator Lisa Rontola.
ABC6 put like 6 stories together into one. They did that. Okay. All right. Let's hear. Do I have, what is this? Oh, this is the timeline. Okay. We'll get over there in a second. I'm going to put myself on mute because Portia is very, very, very giving vocal right now. Okay. All right. Here we go. Y'all.
All right, sir, are you Bruce Foster III?
Yes, how are you today?
I'm good, sir. Thank you. You are here in case 2025 CR73. You're appearing here today on a criminal complaint charging you with aggravated murder. It's an unclassified felony. Have you received a copy of the complaint?
I believe this is it here.
That appears to be it, yes. Do you have
May I ask your name?
My name is Mallory Land Libby. I'm the magistrate here.
Okay, Magistrate Libby.
Land Libby.
Libby?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, and sir, just so you know, today's hearing is being recorded, so anything that you say now could be used against you in the future. You do have a right to an attorney. If you can't afford one, then one will be appointed to you. Okay?
Okay.
I believe you did fill out, I'm sorry?
I will need an attorney.
Okay.
Government issued attorney, yes.
Okay, and we do have your paperwork, so we'll get that process through, okay?
Okay.
I am going to set a preliminary hearing for next Thursday, February 13th at 3 o'clock. So in the meantime, the grand jury will be reviewing your case, okay?
Okay.
The next thing that we're going to do now is set your bond. What is the state's position on bond?
Your Honor, in this particular case, the defendant shot 6 people, killed 2 people, seriously injured another 4 individuals, and then fled from the scene and resisted being taken into custody by the Marshal Service.
I never resisted.
And Your Honor, our request is $20 million cash surety, no 10% for this defendant based upon the evidence in this case, which is overwhelming against the defendant, and likelihood of them having further flight, as well as the violence used by this individual. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Foster, Attorney Haley D'Oliveira is here in court today. She's just standing in for your bond, so she may not be the attorney that would be appointed to your case. Counsel, anything in regards to his bond?
Your Honor, may I inquire?
Sure.
Mr. Foster, I see an address of... Is that a correct address for you?
That is my correct address, and the one that's listed here on the paper is incorrect.
Okay, we'll make note of that. Sir, do you have somebody at that address that can verify that you live there?
You think they're going to let him come home? I'm sorry to interrupt, but you think they're letting him come home to that address after he literally shot 8 people, terrorized the whole warehouse, killed 2 people, wounded 6, killed 2, schizophrenic, not on the apartment complex, or I don't know, maybe it's a neighborhood, maybe they live in a home and it's like their own home. Okay, fine. But the neighbors will run you off. Do you guys remember when Gabby Petito and the people were outside in front of the laundry's house? These days, people will come camp out in your damn front lawn asking for answers. So I don't think he's not getting out anyway. $20 million bond. So they may as well have just said no bond, but they gave him a bond. But these days, people will be outside. They're gonna be outside waiting to get some answers, okay, with paperwork, and want you expect on live stream, and they were going to expect you to give them an answer, okay?
Yes.
The main is Maintenance can, Mike can, I mean, the office can.
Okay.
Did he say that the people at the job, he said Mike in the office, the people at the office can verify for me. The people at the office are not talking to you. You created a nightmare at the office. Don't call the office anymore. Don't call those people at the office.
That address is registered to you? It's registered to you? You're on the lease there?
It's in my name, yes.
Okay. It looks like he has no prior criminal history. Your Honor, we would just ask for reasonable bond to be set in this matter.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Foster, I'm going to set your bond at $20 million cash or surety. If you post that bond, you would need to immediately report to our Adult Court Services Department here in Newark at 2 North First Street. No drugs or alcohol. You'll need to complete a drug and alcohol and mental health assessment and follow treatment recommendations. No contact with alleged victims or family members of alleged victims. No weapons or firearms. You would also be subject to GPS monitoring and house arrest. Okay.
Okay. And that is until I meet with the grand jury, correct?
It's the typewriter for me in the background. Are you guys hearing this? Anyone with earbuds on? That is not a sound effect. There's somebody with a typewriter in the background.
Right. The grand jury will be considering your case, and then we'll get an attorney appointed if you qualify for one, and then you can talk with your attorney about your case. Okay.
Okay, correct. Okay, I never resisted. Who told you guys I resisted?
Hey, okay, don't talk about the facts of your case. This is being recorded. That will be an issue for later. Don't talk about the facts of your case.
You said issue?
That will be something that can be used later. You can bring that up later. You can talk to that about your attorney. Don't talk about it right now. This is being recorded.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Should I leave out?
Yes, you're finished now with your hearing. Thank you.
Sir, you don't have anywhere else. You're going back to the cell. This is bad, right? So this actually happened. So the arraignment was on February 6th. Okay. Let's see what this had to say. Do they have anything else?
28-year-old Bruce Foster appearing on video for his arraignment.
Okay. Just a second. Let me find the other tab.
All right, sir.
One sec. Okay. So this is leading up to him being apprehended. There's like a whole timeline of things that happened. So he was on the loose. So this was so the case against Bruce Foster III is now being in the Licking County court system. So this is February 6th, 4 p.m. New Albany does not expect to conduct any further press conferences and interviews. Okay, is this going backwards or okay, from the bottom to the top? Okay. Around 10:30 p.m. So we've heard this already. Around 10:30 p.m. on February 4th, the New Albany Police Department responded to reports of an active shooter. Let me tell you, all my years, I never had any sort of an active shooter situation at work, but we always do active shooter training, and it is worrisome because you never know who at your job is suffering from mental illness. But let me tell you something. When they come into the workplace and they got a vendetta on someone, baby, they're coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate to scare anybody, but just leave people alone at work. You know what I mean? If you don't like someone, you stay in your corner, let them be in theirs, because you never know how close someone is to blanking. And you don't want someone to come into the job and blank on you. Okay? Like that's it. No matter how reasonable and whatever your free speech, whatever you think, if you don't want to be involved in a situation like this, leave people at work alone. Don't even bother them. If they seem crazy, respect it. And just go about your way, you know? So at this moment, only one person was deceased. 5 individuals had been transported to the hospital. The suspect had been identified and efforts were underway. So he shot up the place and took off in like a Lyft or an Uber. Okay. Let's see. So then they updated later. Then he was identified. This is probably his work ID picture, I would assume, on his badge of approximately 150 employees safely evacuated, identified as Bruce Reginald Foster III. Efforts underway to apprehend. He had taken off. He's 6 feet tall, 175 pounds. And this is what they were saying.
Here from the city of New Albany. I want to begin by expressing my deepest sympathies to the victims and their families affected by last night's tragic event at KDC 1. Our community is heartbroken, and our hearts go out to everyone that's been impacted. We're doing everything we can to support those involved.
You never know. He might have called for his Uber before he went, before he clicked his gun. You know what I mean? He might have been like, okay, it's time. Look, that's going to lend to the premeditated of the matter. It's possible he called, got his Uber or Lyft, whichever one. They said he left in a ride share. So they probably, Uber and Lyft were like, can you please leave our name out of it? We didn't have nothing to do with this. He left in some sort of a ride share situation. He could have called and requested his ride, or got on the app and requested his ride from his location and handled his nasty work and left out, because people are active shooter. What are you doing? You're down, you're behind things, you're going to a closet, you're trying to find a safe place. And then everybody is literally shell shocked. So people are going to crouch and stay in position because you don't know where the shooter is, right? There's always a brave 1 or 2, 3, 10 people who are going to try to get the person, but you never know. This could have been a warehouse full of females. Not to say we could not apprehend, because we've done it before, but depending on the situation, people now work with headphones on. They do all different kinds of things. Plus, people want to get home. So you hear active shooter, baby, I'm running to somewhere where I know there's cement walls, okay? I'm going somewhere where I'm going to the copy room where there are cement walls and a lock, okay? I'm going to go get on the elevator and I'm going to pull the emergency, and or maybe, I don't know if I would go in a stairwell, but I might have to take one of the elevators, okay? I hate it, you know what I mean? Like, I would do that. I would get in an elevator and I will pull the emergency and stop the elevator. Get as many people in that can. I'm not trying to be selfish, but baby, somebody's got to get out, right? No, that was me. That was me moaning. That was me doing a Sonia. Yes. Lamb, stop. Okay, let's listen to this.
We are so very grateful to the swift response of our law enforcement officials, partner agencies, responders, and the incredible team at Mount Carmel Trauma who helped many of the victims. We want to reassure our residents that we have multiple agencies working right now to apprehend the suspect. The safety and well-being of our community are our top priority, and we will continue to work closely with all agencies involved to ensure this situation is resolved as safely and quickly as possible. Now, let me just say a thing or two about society today. Each and every day, each and every one of us leave our house, the safety and comfort of our home, and lend ourselves to the kindness of strangers. We live in a world that is dangerous, but we all hope that we can be treated with kindness and grace. We enter each day vulnerable and hoping for the best in others. And tragically, we don't always encounter others willing to meet our needs and expectations. We may never know the reason that drove this individual to undertake these horrible acts, but regrettably, this pattern is too common in our country, and we must do better. We must do more to support each other, to lend a hand to a friend or a colleague or a coworker who's clearly in need. But even then, we live in a country based on the rule of law, where we agree to a set of social norms in support of the greater good. And when individuals take matters into their own hands and disregard the law in our society, we must hold them accountable, and we will do so here. And with that, let me introduce Chief Greg Jones from the Albany Police Department.
To give you a little bit of background, the incident occurred about 10:30 last night. We received a call of a shooter. KDC is a light manufacturing facility, but it's a very large building. Upon arrival, first off, our officers were able to get here very quickly, and we are fortunate to have great law enforcement partners from Franklin and Lincoln County who responded as well, along with the fire department. Once we made entry into the building, again, it was a large building. We eventually found 6 victims. 5 of them were transported to the hospital. I can't release their condition at this point. The 6th victim was deceased in the building. The suspect, we had learned, had left the building or left the area before our arrival, or left the immediate area before our arrival. We quickly evacuated approximately 150 other employees to a neighboring building. And then again, with all of our local partners, not only other cities and counties, but our state partners and federal authorities immediately began to try to track the suspect down. We are doing so as we speak, and it's we hope to have news for you soon. Again, this is a tragedy that to be honest with you, I never thought we'd see in our community, and unfortunately, it's hit home. So we just want our community to know, and just the community as a whole, that we're doing everything we can to bring this individual into custody, and also to ensure the safety of our citizens and the people that work in the community.
Chief, I know it's early. What are you able to say in terms of a motive here? Obviously, this is highly unusual in New Albany. A lot of concern about something like this happening. What do we know about what led this to occur?
Yeah, that's we don't have a motive at this point. From everybody we interviewed, which was quite a few people, obviously, with a facility this size, there's no reports of any type of confrontation or any type of dispute that would have brought this about.
You said it was a targeted attack overnight. What leads you to believe that?
Because it was at his place of work. So all the victims, all of the people that were injured or the person that is deceased worked in the facility.
And I heard you correctly that the suspect did work here. Is that what you just said?
Yes.
Do you know how long the suspect worked there?
We do not know that.
Do you know his exact position here?
No.
Is there any threat to the public at this hour?
We don't believe so. Like I said, I think that the suspect has left the area. We have information that is taking us to certain addresses that we are working to check and try to find him. And another thing too is that there was a weapon recovered at the scene. And we only received reports of one weapon.
And as far as you know, just the one shooter involved in the incident?
Correct. And as you guys probably already know, when this originally happens, there's all kinds of reports that you receive. Originally, there was reported that there was 2 shooters. We were able to quickly determine that's not true.
If the shooter sees the coverage, what's your message to him?
To turn himself in. We have New Albany sits in 2 counties. We have municipal jurisdictions, both sheriff's departments. We have state officials, the U.S. Marshal Service, ATF, all working to check these locations where he might be and to bring him into custody. And I would recommend that he turns himself in. I think it's going to be a matter of time before he's brought into custody.
I know you said it's a really large.
No, I'm not able to say that. I'm not sure their address. We interviewed and we also ID'd all the people that work in the building that we evacuated. I can tell you that the person that is deceased is not local to New Albany.
This is a large facility. I know it's early in the investigation, but can you give us any sort of sense of how this took place? Was he scheduled to be at work and it occurred then? Did he come into an area he not normally is in? What do we know about the circumstances?
So he had been at work for some time when this occurred. We don't have any reports that there was any issue that he was in an area that he wasn't supposed to be, or he was in trouble in any way, or there was any conflict. We have not to say that there wasn't something, but after interviewing everybody we have and supervisors at the company, we don't have any reports of anything like that.
Any mission update?
What's that?
Any victim update right now?
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't give that to you right now. We can follow up and provide that soon.
Can you provide any details on males, females, how many injured?
charged for that. As far as the victims go, no, I don't have that at this point.
Do you have any information about the security at this building? What type of measures there are? Do people have to scan in? Are there, metal detectors when people go in the building?
I don't know the details that I can provide you. I know that we had to use key fobs and different ways of accessing different parts of the building. So I know there is a level of manual security, but I'm not sure of the details.
What else are you able to tell us about the firearm in this case? What type of weapon was it? Can you tell us more?
It was a handgun. I really can't go into it any further than that. And again, our partners at the federal government, ATF, has responded and are helping us track that firearm.
Can you provide any updates on the suspect search? I know there were several scenes earlier today. Can you talk about that any further?
As far as the suspects look, yeah. So we, we had addresses that we thought the suspect might be at, and that our officers and our partners went to those addresses, checked those addresses, obtained search warrants, and that the ones that we've checked so far that we've not been able to find him, but right before we had this press briefing, we even received more information about some other addresses that we could check.
Was there witnesses that saw him leave, or camera footage that saw him leave? There's a lot of massive buildings here.
Yeah, there is camera footage, and we know how he left the building. So there's camera footage of quite a bit of his entrance and leaving the building.
Have you talked to leadership here at all? What are they saying? Do they know anything about this suspect?
They had a manager, actually a supervisor and a manager here, and I can't at this point release details of what they their characterization of him as an employee. But they did say that nobody here noticed any type of confrontation or anything that one might expect that triggered this.
And this is in the middle of a shift?
What's that?
This is the end of a shift or middle of a shift?
No, this was he had been there for several hours. I'm not sure when his shift ended, but he had been there for several hours before this occurred.
How are you doing, Chief?
Good. It's been a long night, but I'll tell you, it's not me. It's particularly having to break the news to a family member of the family that lost somebody last night, and to the staff who I'm sure is traumatized, and to all the police and fire staff that have been out here all night working on this. So, but they're doing a great job, and they're truly professionals.
The staff at this facility, have they been allowed to go home, and what has been? How are they doing?
Yeah, so the facility's closed. It's a crime scene. Right now it's a large facility, so it's going to take, I don't know, it could be like 12 hours before this scene is actually processed. We have BCI, and they brought out a tremendous amount of staff and resources to help process the scene. But the facility's closed, and it will be for some time. And as far as the employees go, I'm not sure how the company notified them not to come into work. Yeah, as I said, about 150 people were working in there, so I'm not sure how many they expected to come in the next shift.
A question for the mayor. You both mentioned that this was a tragedy you never thought you would see in this community. How do you believe that the community will rally together during this time of struggle?
Yeah, in New Albany, we're a very tight community, and everyone will bind.
Okay, let me just say this. First of all, I'm just gonna when you go and look at some of this type of information, New Albany, let me tell you, they have a whole timeline, and they have been updated. They were updating the timeline. So the public, if you wanted to know what was going on, baby, there's no reason why you would not know what was going on, because they posted everything. They had links. They got a YouTube channel. They are keeping the public informed 2025 style, which is amazing. Okay. On top of that, they have posted everything that you need. Okay. I'm very impressed, because sometimes you have to hunt and dig for information. And because this is a public crisis, I mean, you have a small community, even a big community, you don't want to hear about 8 people being shot at work. People are accomplishing the goals of the company, and they're working. And this is New Albany, Ohio, not Albany, New York. So New Albany, this is in Ohio. But as far as the New Albany as a City police department, I'm very impressed with just all of the information that they provided so people can tell the story and provide some awareness without having to do a whole extra lot to find everything. They had the police report. Now the police report, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, the police report is damn, let me get to the narrative. I don't even want to. The police report is 43 pages. Okay, let me get up off of here. I haven't even had a chance to read through and get through any of it. 43 pages. It's multiple narratives. But let me show you guys this just to get a visual of the scene. So you heard the chief. I'll drop the link to that press conference if you want to hear more. Let me see. I wish I could. Well, we'll just have to do it like this. Hold on. We're gonna have to do it like this. Y'all, they even put up the body cam videos, okay? You know, body cam videos, once an officer turns on their body cam, the first 60 seconds, usually you're not getting audio. So this will kick in a few seconds. This is them. I don't know if they were still doing work on the building. It seems like, I don't know, Bruce might have just snapped. What is that? Are they digging a pool? Like, what kind of company is this? Is that one of the amenities at the spot? That's crazy. A swimming pool, y'all. A swimming pool at the job, okay? Maybe girl, Bruce is already over at his apartment. Bruce is at his apartment. So obviously the facility is still under construction. You know how some buildings might have phase 1, phase 2. They may have been over in one phase of the building and adding on and creating additional space in like phase 2 of the building. So it looks like some new construction. It looks like they are building out like a different phase. Obviously, it looked like they were putting in a gym, all kinds of. Look at that. Are they going to shoot the door? Uh-oh. I'm sure they didn't know at this time that he was already gone. Yeah, so I mean, you guys should already be on the playback. I guess nobody has said, "Hey, we've got full surveillance. We can see if he's already exited the building," or at the time of the shooting there was a door that was opened at such and such time. He probably actually already left. They got a lot going on in that building. They had industrial washers and dryers. Like, what is really going on in this building? Oh, maybe they have uniforms. They might have uniform service. Yeah, they might. Maybe they have uniform service. Maybe if they have to wear protective gear. Did they check inside those cabinets? Now, I don't know if they have the body cam of when they apprehended him or not. So, I just downloaded all of it and there's like 10 body cam videos. This is just one of them. I'm assuming they probably, since they gave us this, I would imagine they've got the body cam of when they went and apprehended him. So, when I find that one, I'm gonna holla at you guys and we'll play that one too. We're just, if you want to see this in its entirety, I'll post it for you guys. I'll post them all. Um, I just don't know how interesting all of this is. Is this a hotel in the makings? This looks like maybe they're examining an empty building next door because look at this. This is like hotel rooms. So maybe there's a building that they thought that he went into because this is empty hotels. So this is that night, but maybe Portia, hush. This is in the vicinity. I wonder why they ended up in here. Okay, so that would explain the swimming pool. That would explain the industrial washers and dryers. That would explain a lot. Why they're here, I do not know. Hold on a second. Let me see another one. Is this the full zip? No. Okay. Oh God, this one is long. Maybe they thought he went into that new construction building or something. So this is like a suburb of Columbus, Ohio. Look at all that artillery he's got on him. Damn. How can you walk around with all that? I can only imagine that's a lot of weight. Y'all see that? So this is obviously redacted. So they had to look through every car, talk to every person, check every trunk, clear everybody before they left the premises. They searched neighboring buildings. Oh, let's hear what's going on here. I'm sorry. I cannot imagine how horrible. I can only imagine. I can. But it's awful. Uh Finding out something happened at the job and you're waiting to hear from your loved one and, awful. Awful, awful, awful. If you guys want me to post this, I will. This video is like 2 hours. But there's others. I'm going to check and see if they have the video of when they went and confronted Mr. Foster, cuz I'm like, okay, uh I would imagine that if they gave us all this, then I would almost think that they would give us that too. So I will definitely take a look and see if I can find that one. Okay. Guys, let's see. A global company that develops and formulates designs, manufacturers for the beauty, personal care, and household industries. Okay. Woo. Terrible, right? Okay. Let me shut this one down, and I think I don't want to I want to come back and talk about the other mom, the one who Kelly Bryant, and then there's another one. I want to keep those two moms together. Girl, it's just awful. It's awful what's been going on. But I'm going to come back in a little while. Give me like about an hour or two, and I just want to take a little bit of a break too, just a little mental break. If anyone is interested in any of this body cam, let me know. I'm gonna look through and see what's what, and then I'll post it accordingly. Okay. If I know some people do love to watch body cam videos, so we'll see what's going on, if it's interesting, or just post it somewhere where y'all can watch it if you want to. Anyway, guys, you guys let me know. I guess audio of what? There's audio to this. They're just not saying anything. I mean, it's like there's audio to this video. It's just some places, like for instance, some of it's visually redacted, some of it's kind of glossed over, redacted. All the audio was on there. It's like the first minute of body cam footage, if you notice. Whenever they activate their body cams, the first 60 seconds, usually there's no audio for some reason. So you'll see video with no audio. Oh, you didn't hear that? Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. That's my bad. Okay. That would have been, let me see. Hold on. That's my bad. Let's see. That's my bad. I normally don't have to share this way, so I don't think I clicked the button. My bad, y'all. Let's see. So right here where they were engaging with the employees, hold on. Okay.
One male, back door.
You guys can hear now, right? I didn't realize you guys could not hear.
Innovation and then unit.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Just waiting to leave? All right. Do you mind popping your trunk real quick? I just got a peek in it, okay? Do you guys have any bags or anything in there that you need, or are you good?
I need to get my jacket.
Your jacket can wait till tomorrow.
It has my wallet.
It does?
Yeah.
If you go up to the door and tell them you need your jacket, they might be able to let you in to get it so you guys can head out, okay? Did you pop the trunk for me? Yeah. All right. Thank you, sir. Beautiful. Yeah, if you walk up to the door and tell them that way you can get your wallet before you leave, and that way you can guys get out of here, okay? I appreciate your patience. Oh, yeah. Okay, do you have anything inside that you need, or are you able to leave? All right, yep. Have your IDs ready.
I can welcome back in small groups.
All right, guys, if you guys want to head out of here. Yeah. Keep going through there. Shot in the ankle.
Oh, there's like four.
Did they say there's one or two? There was blood all.
Okay.
Wear my coldest gear, and I did. Smart man. Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, like I said, I just downloaded the body cam footage, so I don't know if I didn't realize I didn't click the button to share audio, so that was operator error, which the operator that would be me, so my bad, y'all. I'm gonna flip through some of this and see if they've got when they actually apprehended Bruce. I feel like that'd be more interesting, but if any of you guys want to see this body cam footage, I'll be happy to share it, because I mean, why not? So you guys let me know if you want to see, like, some of it's redacted, obviously, as you can see in some places. This is probably in the building where the shooting occurred. So maybe if there's blood, or there are, if there was we know that there was a fatality immediately when they got there, but just, we don't know what was in that particular sequence of time. So why they're not showing it at this moment could be any number of reasons.
And so I just wanted me to stay out there with them because I had like 30 employees out there.
Yeah.
And then there was a bullet sitting right by my feet. So we need to get that as well. There was a bullet right by my feet.
Oh, yeah.
What case it all been. Then I already documented where they all went and all that. And then I brought the people around, and then I got the gun from in here and brought it around.
So the gun was in here?
Yeah, this is where they wrestled him.
If I have any officers that are not doing anything.
Huh? Yeah, you'd think. They said.
If you two want to go return, are you guys holding this or anything, or what?
No, we got plenty of guys out here.
Okay. If you want to.
All right. What do you want to see?
S11 blood command.
Yeah, because there's blood.
4 development units here, 2 are holding it, and then 2 are security.
Okay, Jay Vickers. Okay, guys.
Is that true? It wasn't here. Wait. They just were sitting here when they left. Okay, so they wrestled.
You think? So they're saying they wrestled him like right here.
Is that true? It wasn't here. They just were sitting here when they left. Okay, so they wrestled where? Back there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you guys talking to your supervisor? Is that who you're talking to on the phone? Okay.
So some people wrestled him. I don't know, y'all. We're gonna have to read a little bit more of the timeline. But according to the sheriff, they didn't arrest him until at his apartment. So anyway, let me let y'all go, because Portia's and the Portia's barking now. So let me give them a break, and I will be back with you guys a little bit later. Okay, this was interesting. I'm glad we got a chance to get caught up on some other stories, because God knows there's other things going on out here. So I do want to talk about those two other mommies, at least one of them. And then I want to go through some of you guys' comments from the video last night because you guys had a lot to say. Okay. You guys had a lot to say about Nesto and the shenanigans last night of last night's call. So anyway, I will be back with you guys a little bit later. Make sure to hit the thumbs up for me and we will wrap the rest of this up in a little bit. Okay. Take care, guys.